So I'd like to start first by thanking everybody for being here. I know it's a very busy time of year, so thank you for spending your time with me tonight. I want to say a little bit more about what Kat mentioned about my personal experiences before we get into the meat of the session tonight. But before we do anything, I would like us to do a little breathing just to ground ourselves, to help us all come to the present moment, to let go of whatever is going on in our mind, whatever we were dealing with earlier in the day, and whatever we may be projecting into the future. So if you're wearing glasses, please take your glasses off. If you're wearing anything around your waist that makes it hard to let your belly expand when you breathe in, you need to loosen a belt or a snap or a zipper. I promise we are G-rated this evening, but you need to be able to breathe fully and completely. So loosen any clothing around your belly. And start by just closing your eyes. And imagine you can soften your forehead. Soften your jaw. If your upper teeth are touching your lower teeth, let there be a space between them. Imagine you can soften your throat. And now start to watch your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. And on the inhale, I want you to start to focus on your belly. Let the belly gently expand on the inhale and gently return on the exhale. Your belly rises on the inhale and it returns on the exhale. On the next several inhalation, exhalation, see if you can imagine breathing all the way down to your groin, where your legs meet your torso. And exhale. And imagine you can breathe all the way down to your groin and around to your lower back. And exhale. Inhale, and now let the exhalation be longer, as long as it needs to be. Inhale through your nose, and now exhale through your mouth, and let that exhale be as long as it needs to be. And you can sigh, or you can vocalize, or you can make whatever noise you like to make to let out whatever needs to come out on that exhale. Inhale and exhale as long as it needs to be. And I'll let you do that on your own rhythm for the next several cycles of breathing in and breathing out. Okay, and now just return to what feels normal and natural, whatever way of breathing feels normal and natural to you, and continue that for several inhale, exhale cycles. And when you're ready, I want you to bring your palms to cover your eyes. Putting what we call the heel of the palm on the bone below the eyes. Just rest it gently, still with the eyes closed. Take several inhalation exhalations this way, releasing any holding or tension in your fingers or hands or forearms. When you're ready, open your eyes into your palms. And then gently release your hands to wherever they're most comfortable. So what you all just did is you toggled on what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. That is the amazing nervous system that allows us to rest, repair, rejuvenate, heal, digest, and sleep, all the good stuff, all the nurturing stuff. And it brings us into a state of inner calm, mental calm, emotional calm, and physiologic calm. It quiets the mind and it quiets the body. So hopefully you all had a little bit of taste of that parasympathetic nervous system. You're able to let go of the day and be present. So as I mentioned when I first started speaking, I am going to talk a little bit about my personal story, a little bit more about what Kat alluded to. I did have some pretty remarkable and at the time felt really catastrophic experiences in my life. And it's actually why I'm here with you this evening, because those experiences taught me a lot, changed my understanding of health, my understanding of life, of reality in huge, huge, huge ways. The first big experience I had was actually early on in my life. My dad, who was relatively young at the time, had a catastrophic stroke. It was a stroke that left him paralyzed on one side and what we call partially aphasic. That meant he had difficulty finding the words that he wanted to say. He couldn't get them out. Nearly 20 years after my dad's stroke, I bore witness to a seemingly miraculous cure that gave him his speech back. So that was a remarkable awakening for me. It really radically changed my beliefs about what medicine was capable of and my beliefs about healing. Later on in my life, when I was in my early 20s, which was before his miraculous cure, but after his stroke, I was diagnosed with a chronic and debilitating illness and told at the time that I would need to be on multiple medications for the rest of my life, at least 4 medications, if not more. Well, fast forward to today, I no longer have that chronic illness that had me destined to be medicated for life. And over the years since then, I've navigated being a human being, navigating being in the body. I've had my challenge of other health issues. I've also borne witness to more seemingly miraculous cures that defy conventional medical thinking and seemingly miraculous phenomena that defy how we understand reality, how our thinking brains experience consciousness, how our thinking brains experience space and time, and how our 5 senses experience the world around us. So all of that has led me to be with you tonight to share with you a little bit of what I've learned through it all. I'm going to share some of those key themes, and I'm going to begin with a bit of a slideshow to help us along our way. And I also want to mention, if anybody has any burning questions along the way, I'm open to being interrupted. I'd rather offer clarity than keep anybody confused. If you're feeling confused or have a question or concern, and Katera's going to be expertly moderating the chat for any concerns you may have or questions. So, Beyond Medicine. This is the title of our time together tonight. It's also the title of my book. If you decide to check out my book, you will learn more about all of that in my book. What I'm going to do with you tonight, I'm going to offer key themes of my work that are also in the book. I'm going to guide you in an exercise to experience those teachings. We'll have time for Q&A after the exercise. And I'm going to close with suggestions on how you can take the teachings home with you after the class. There will also be final Q&A time at the end. And again, don't hesitate to interrupt me if anything comes up that's not clear during. Kat's going to moderate, and if she thinks it can wait till the end, don't be offended if she doesn't call on you. I'm sure she'll save it for the end, if not during our process together. So what I learned from some of those catastrophic experiences and seemingly miraculous cures and bearing witness to more miraculous phenomena, I learned that we need to rethink what we believe. I needed to rethink what I believed. I learned that we need to rethink what we believe about health and medicine, and come to know that healing beyond the bounds of conventional Western medicine is possible. I needed to rethink what I believed about reality. I needed to rethink what I understood reality to be. I came to understand that there is a reality that is beyond our thinking brains and our five senses. If you've ever had deja vu, if you've ever had a dream that came true, hold on to these rememberings. These are notions that speak to this greater reality that's beyond our thinking brains and our five senses. And it's a reality that's very, very much at play in healing beyond the bounds of what we understand in Western medicine and what I was trained in Western medicine to know. I also learned about the importance of being as opposed to doing, as being as opposed to doing, and that there's a simple and effortless and scientifically supported way to feel well, to thrive, and to even heal whatever's going on for us, whether it's a health issue or whether it's something else in our life that's a challenging situation. That way involves being, not doing. That way involves first stopping, not taking action. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to try to fix or change things. We don't need to struggle or toil. All we need to do is just be. And I want to read a little excerpt from my book because it speaks to these notions in light of what I learned, what I'm still learning, what I continue to experience. Here goes a little excerpt from the beginning of my book. I came to understand that good health has very little to do with the physical body, with any sort of medicine, or with taking action. Rather, it's by surrendering, by allowing dis-ease, that suffering and disease can leave us. We don't have to struggle to be well. In fact, it's through surrendering that we can become well. The same principle holds for challenging circumstances and situations in our lives. We don't have to struggle to shift them. We don't have to try to toil in order to shift them. Rather, it's by surrendering to being rather than doing that challenges can leave us. All that we ever need for whatever's going on is to simply first stop, pause, and just be. And let me make a little statement here and just say, hold on to your disbelief if you're having a lot of disbelief and what I'm saying sounds implausible, perhaps impossible, perhaps woo-woo to you, because I'm going to explain the science of it all. There is a science that supports that just being is our way to healing, that just being is our way to navigating difficult situations. before taking action. The power of being here now, it is our way to healing. It is our way to navigating challenging situations. I'm going to offer you a new way to think about health. We're rethinking just what health is and just how health happens. I'm going to offer you that absolute health is peace of mind. And peace of mind is where we need to be for healing to happen. It's actually our essential nature. We were born to be in a state of inner peace. It's our natural state of mind. And it's a state of mind we need to be in to heal from whatever ails us, health-wise and otherwise, and even to shift whatever's going on that may feel challenging. A little bit of the science of it all, because science explains and supports these notions. When our mind is calm, like I hope you all experienced through the breathing exercise we started with, it activates that parasympathetic nervous system. As I mentioned, that's the system we need for rest, repair, rejuvenation, and healing, as well as sleeping and digestion if we're needing to sleep or we're needing to digest. The parasympathetic system lowers blood pressure, lowers heart rate and our breathing rate, and it turns on the feel-good chemicals in the brain, the digestive system, and it readies us for sleep and rest. When the mind isn't calm, though, that parasympathetic system is not turned on. The sympathetic nervous system is turned on. That is a system we need to have turned on if we're a New Yorker walking the streets of New York and we're about to cross the street and the cab is about to jump a red light, or we're a New Yorker walking our dog like I do and we're approached by an aggressive dog. That's our fight or flight system that keeps us active, alert, and vigilant. And in order to keep us active, alert, and vigilant, it raises blood pressure, it raises heart rate, it speeds up how fast we're breathing, and it turns on the adrenal or stress hormones, which are good things. All of that has to happen if we need to be active, alert, and vigilant. However, we cannot rest, repair, rejuvenate, or heal, or digest or sleep if that fight or flight system is on. It inhibits all that good stuff, all that healing activity, all that resting and digesting and sleeping activity. So the bottom line is a calm mind facilitates healing. A calm, peaceful mind is the state we need to be in for our body to heal. We will not heal otherwise. We will not heal otherwise. So how do we do that? How do we find our way to inner peace? The way we do that is by being here now, being present with what is. Being present moment to moment with whatever we're experiencing, with thoughts, with feelings, with physical sensations, not avoiding, not pushing down, not denying, because what we resist persists. What we resist persists and creates literally a physiologic stress in the body. So allowing what is, being present with it, is our way to freedom from it. Being present is our way to inner peace, no matter how difficult those thoughts, feelings, or physical sensations may be. And science even explains why. That feeling feelings, even difficult ones, is our way to healing. Feeling feelings, even our difficult ones, is our way to well-being. And it's even our way to manifesting what may seem to be apparent miracles in our lives. And I'll just tell you parenthetically that miracles are really the natural order of things when we get out of the way. It's how that greater reality beyond our thinking brains and our five senses actually works. So I'd like to share with you a little bit of the science in the clinical literature, meaning research with people, that supports this notion that feeling feelings, even difficult ones, is our way to healing and to well-being. There have been a number of studies, of research studies with people looking at what we call emotional acceptance, being present with emotions rather than avoiding emotions. The most iconic study was in 2016. That was a study of women with breast cancer. The women were divided into two groups. One group was told to fight their diagnosis, to fight it as if it's an unwanted invader, that they needed to conquer it and just fight it as best they could. The other group was asked to be present with all the feelings that were coming up around their diagnosis, any physical issues they were having, any symptoms, any feelings they were having, all the feelings they were having, no matter how difficult, whether they were feeling hopeless or anxious or angry or fearful. They were given particular tools, expressive tools, to be in touch with their feelings. And at the end of this study, the outcomes were such that the women who were allowed to honor their feelings, be present with them, who accepted their feelings and expressed them, had improved health outcomes, less symptoms of sickness, and improved findings on laboratory testing. So science demonstrates to us that feeling feelings can be our way to well-being. What we resist persists. Literally, holding energy of thoughts in the body creates dis-ease in the body and creates physiologic stress in the body and counters the body's healing wisdom and activity. So again, the take-home message here is that it's by surrendering, by allowing dis-ease, that suffering, dis-ease, and even disease can leave us. We don't have to struggle to be well. It's through surrendering to what's going on in the moment, no matter how difficult it may seem, that we can be well. Now, I want to offer you a caveat, because perhaps this does sound implausible, impossible, or even woo-woo, as I mentioned earlier. It's not that we never take action, that we don't ever use medicines or other therapeutic techniques or practices such as surgeries or other approaches to health, whether they're Western, complementary, or integrative, if we're dealing with health issues. It's not that we don't take action to change things, but rather the way to healing and the way to clarity around what we should do, whatever's going on, first arises from a place of inner peace, that place of absolute health, that place of mental calm. The body can't heal otherwise. We can't get clear otherwise. That place of mental calm is where clarity, solutions, and inspired action arise. Without trying to figure it out, it just arises. And it's where healing happens, for the reasons I explained to you before, because of that parasympathetic nervous system being toggled on. So, it's not always so easy to do that, for myself included, being here now. Puppies do it really well, babies do it really well, but sometimes we need a little help doing it. So I offer many different tools, many different exercises, many different resources for finding our way to absolute health, to inner peace. I use them in my work. I describe these in my book. Some of these tools are called the 5 absolute health tools, and they are here on this slide. Those 5 tools are breathing, mindfulness and meditation, journaling, mirror work, and mind-body sensing. They've all been shown by science to toggle on that parasympathetic nervous system, bringing us to that place of rest, rejuvenation, repair, and healing, to that place of calm where clarity and solutions and inspired action arise. So they're good tools, they're wonderful exercises, and probably most of you have heard of the first 3, breathing, mindfulness, and meditation and journaling. Perhaps you've not heard of mirror work and mind-body sensing. So I'll just speak briefly about mirror work. Mirror work involves looking at yourself in a mirror and literally talking to the mirror. It's a way of cultivating that be here now experience, which all of these tools can help us do. To be here now, not in the past, not ruminating about what's happened, not worrying about what might happen, but being completely present. Even if it's about being present with a feeling of worry about what happened, it's about being present. I learned about mirror work from Louise Hay, who was a contemporary spiritual teacher and who healed herself of a quote incurable unquote cervical cancer diagnosis through the use of various holistic and alternative therapies, as well as through working with her thoughts and emotions and finding a path to peace internally, mentally, and emotionally. There are various types of mirror work exercises I offer in the book for getting in touch with feelings, for having difficult conversations with other people, talking to somebody in the mirror, talking to ourselves in the mirror. That's mirror work. Mind-body sensing is what I'm going to do next with you. I'm going to guide you in a mind-body sensing exercise. It's an exercise for being here now, for finding feelings in the body. And a little background about it. Mind-body sensing is a powerful awareness tool, a body awareness tool that helps us explore where in our physical bodies we're holding thoughts and feelings. Sometimes it's called somatic sensing, sometimes it's called somatic experiencing. We literally hold thoughts and feelings in our physical body. And when they remain held, as I said earlier, they can be a cause of dis-ease and even disease. Science has shown us that connecting with our bodies, finding feelings in the body awareness, dropping our minds into our bodies, toggles on that parasympathetic nervous system. Again, that system we need for all the good stuff, for resting, digesting, sleeping, repairing, rejuvenating, and sleeping. All that good stuff that nurtures us, that can get us well, that can keep us well. So what I'd like to do next is I'd like to pause here from my slideshow and guide you in a little mind-body sensing exercise. So I'm going to come back to you guys full screen here. And feel free to turn off your video if you don't want to be on the video. We're going to have our eyes closed, so you don't need to see anything. Again, as before, please take off your glasses if you're wearing glasses. And if you haven't already, please loosen any clothes around your waist that may be keeping you from letting your belly expand fully. And I just want to check in with Kat. Are we okay? Does anybody have a burning question or concern they need to express before we move forward?
Right now, it looks like we are okay.
We're good.
If anybody has a question, feel free to put your video on and raise your hand.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to guide you in this mind-body sensing exercise. You can do it sitting or lying down. So I want you to get as comfortable as you comfortably can. This is one of the benefits of these online events that this invisible microbe has forced us to, that you can do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to wear anything fancy below the waist, and you can lie down or sit or however you're comfortable. But really the bottom line is, for this exercise, you need to be as comfortable as you can. So sitting or lying down, whichever is best for you. And start by closing your eyes and doing some gentle belly breathing, as we were doing before. And now what I'd like you to do is bring to mind something that's going on for you right now that's feeling challenging. Accept whatever first comes to mind. And I want you to check in with the feelings that are coming up for that something that's feeling challenging. And I want you to note what is the biggest, loudest feeling that's coming up for you. And I want you to give it a name. It might be fear, maybe you might call it anxiety, maybe something is making you feel angry. Maybe something is making you feel sad. Whatever the feeling is that's the loudest feeling that's coming to mind, name it and do so without judgment. Know that feelings are normal and natural. We carry a lot of judgment, a lot of shoulds around feelings. And I'm going to offer that there are no bad feelings, there are no negative feelings. Feelings are normal and natural. It's how we work with feelings that can either be supportive or harmful to us and sometimes to others around us. So allow without judgment whatever's coming up for you. Okay, return to your awareness of that feeling that you gave a name to. And I want you to notice where in your body you feel the feeling. Imagine dropping down into your body to do so. You may feel a sensation. You may feel a discomfort or a pain even, or maybe simply an awkwardness. Often we feel anger in the neck and jaw. Often we feel fear in the solar plexus area. That's midway between the rib cage and the belly button. Often we feel sadness or grief around the heart center. You may feel your feelings elsewhere. Just know that whatever you feel and wherever you feel it, it's absolutely normal and natural for you. On the other hand, you may not feel a specific sensation at all. Rather, your attention may go to a particular place in your body. Whether or not you feel a specific sensation, breathe into that place where you feel the feeling or where your attention goes. Breathe slowly, breathe gently. Breathe by allowing your belly to rise on the inhale and return on the exhale. Don't try to make the feelings or sensations go away. Just be with whatever you're feeling and let the breath take you there. Often, when we first find feelings in the body, new feelings will arise. Feelings are always coming and going, new ones enter as others leave. So, if this happens for you, if new feelings arrive, and if one of those feels very, very loud, name it. And as we did before, just explore where you find it in your body, as with the first feeling. That stream of feelings comes and goes. New ones enter as others leave. Invite them in. Be present with them. Find them in your body. And I'm going to let you do that for a minute or two on your own in silence, remembering to return to your belly breathing. If your mind wanders, when you notice your mind wandering, find the emotion that's attached to that wandering mind. Maybe you're restless, maybe you're feeling something else. Find the feeling and then find the feeling in the body. So just a minute or so on your own. Now start to return your awareness to your breathing. And to end the exercise, gently bring your palms to cover your eyes, as we did before. And continue with some gentle belly breathing for a couple inhalation exhalation cycles. Next, open your eyes into your palms, gently breathing for a little while with your palms still over your eyes. Couple inhalation exhalations. And finally, release your hands to wherever they're most comfortable. So I would like to open it up if anybody has any questions or any shares they want to offer from that exercise we just did. Does anybody have a comment? Was it difficult for anybody?
I'm not seeing anything. I think you got everyone to their inner peace.
It was a little difficult. I see it to some, it was a little difficult. I would love to hear how it was difficult because I would like to help you, and if anybody else felt it were difficult, with how it might have been difficult. I think that was Paulina who said it was difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was difficult to identify, a little bit difficult to identify the emotion, and then with clarity, I identified that in my body.
Do you mean it was first difficult to name the emotion, to give it a name?
Yes.
Yes, it was difficult to give it a name. Yes. And then, sorry, go ahead.
When I got a name, and then to put it in a place in my body wasn't that simple. And I also got very sleepy.
You got sleepy. Okay. So it was hard to name the emotion, and then it was hard to find the feeling once you gave it a name in your body. That's real. I'm really glad you shared that. I'm sorry it was difficult for you, but that's really, really common. And what I want to offer is that if you don't have a way with ease to name the emotion, if it's hard to name the emotion, then don't try to name the emotion. Just imagine dropping into the body and getting the feeling in the body. In other words, not the emotion, but find out what is your body feeling. If you're feeling angry, check in with your body. Where might you be holding tension in your body? If you're feeling anxious, check in with your body. Where might you be feeling that anxiety in your body? If you're feeling sad, where might you be feeling that anxiety in your body? Does that help, that suggestion? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thanks. Sure. I hope that was helpful if anybody else felt it difficult as well. Also, if you felt sleepy, that's not a bad thing. That's very normal because the process of doing these exercises toggles on that parasympathetic nervous system. And if our body or our mind is tired, when we toggle on that parasympathetic nervous system, we're going to feel sleepiness. We're literally checking in with what the body's needing, and the body's telling us what we're needing. So it's likely that your body or your mind or both might be in need of a little rest. So feeling sleepy is not a bad thing. It's just your body giving you a signal. And often when we're in that active, alert, vigilant state, that nervous system of sympathetic stimulation, we're experiencing a disconnect. We're not aware of whether we're really tired mentally, emotionally, or whether we're really tired physically, because we're needing to be active, alert, and vigilant. So we lose our ability to really check in within. So when we slow down to be present, and we toggle on that parasympathetic nervous system, we reconnect with our inner resources and our inner knowing, and we can literally hear, feel, taste, see, and sense what our body's needing. Does that make sense? Yeah. And we live in a culture that glorifies doing and sometimes judges not doing. And I want to encourage all of us to not glorify doing, but to honor being and to know that the doing will all happen and will get done when we can first allow the being to happen, when we can cultivate that state of ease. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope so. I'm an inveterate doer. I'm a type A person. That's how I got through medical school and got a lot done that I got done. But I had to learn through my own challenges of dis-ease and illness to really learn how to honor the body and to find and cultivate that stillness in the body and that slowing down. So anyhow, hopefully that was helpful to you, Paulina, and anybody else who found that exercise a little bit difficult. Anybody else?
I would love to say something. Thank you very much, Trish. I could feel a shift, and this is D, by the way, but it was really quite amazing because at first it was frustration and what was the other one? I can't even remember. Oh, worry, frustration, and then sadness, and then all of a sudden the sweep of peace came across me, like as I went through it. And also because I'm trained in this as well, and I love your work. Thank you for inviting me. I was like, oh, there goes my parasympathetic. I could feel it. I was just like, oh, and so I want to thank you for that.
Aw.
And I also, because the lights were on, I was like, no, you have to turn the lights off and you have to be warm because that's going to help me to rest and digest. So I just want to thank you for that. And yeah, it's so wonderful to be peaceful. And yeah, we are human beings, not human doings. I know.
I like that.
Thank you.
You, Dee. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that was helpful to you. And I also was, it was helpful to hear how your feelings shifted from frustration to other feelings, and to everybody on the Zoom event, know that that's normal and natural, that this is a very, very natural process when we're stopping to slow down to feel what's going on. And also know that this is how we can relieve ourselves of difficult feelings, not by avoiding them, because as I said, what we resist persists. It creates stress in the body, literally, and more stress in the mind. But by being present with them, we find a path to easing them and they shift. And often we're afraid to feel feelings, which is what stops us from being present, which stops us from feeling feelings. So anyhow,
Yes.
Thank you, Dee. I'm honored. Dee has been a teacher for me as well over the years at the 92Y Health and Fitness Center. So it's lovely to hear you, and I'm honored to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you know what else too, and other people might have experienced this, and you could speak on this as the expert. What I noticed was, I'm like, it's in my belly, it's in my throat, it's in my liver, and because I do the chakra and all that, and the sounds for the organs, I kind of incorporated it, but it just that it moves. And when it moves, that means your ears might pop, you might yawn, so that started happening. So thank you for facilitating that for me.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that too. Yes. Everybody keep in mind that when we start to connect somatically, sometimes we're disconnected. Myself, very much disconnected sometimes because I'm very much in my head. I do a lot of thinking work and a lot of talking work. But when we connect to our physical body and we start to become aware of our physical body through this type of process, we can experience movement in the physical body, just the way Dee explains. So not to be concerned about that as well. That's another natural process of the physical body responding to our sensory awareness of the body. Anyhow, anybody else? I'm just wanting to be mindful of time here, just checking my watch, my clock. There's going to be time for Q&A at the end as well. So if there's somebody who has a burning desire, we can address that at the end as well. And also, I'm more than happy to dialogue privately with people after this evening, and I'll have the contact information for you to do that if you want to do that too. So if you're not going to speak now, there's more opportunities to do so tonight and thereafter. Okay, so it looks like we're all good. I'm going to return to my slideshow for you all. And offer you some more tools for finding your way to absolute health. And these are tools that you can use after this evening. The term doctor, I don't know if all of you know this, but the term doctor, its linguistic roots come from the Latin that means teacher. So in my work, I view myself as a teacher and a partner, not a dictator, not a god, but a teacher and a partner. And in my work, what I teach and what I also offer in the book are a number of different themes that I'm just going to run down here this slide to give you an overview. One big aspect of my work is teaching people that they have 4 primary medicines. These are your own primary medicines, and they are food as medicine, lifestyle as medicine, community and relationships as medicine, and purpose as medicine. And these are your own primary medicines that you cultivate completely on your own. They're completely individualized, even food. And the way we work in the integrative world, in the holistic world, is that we don't treat a disease or a symptom with food. We treat the disease or the symptom not with food, but we treat the person who has the disease or the symptom, not the disease or the symptom. So I do what's called constitutional nutrition. I do nutrition for the individual, for the unique person who has the condition, not the condition the person has. And the same goes for lifestyle. It's unique for each and every one of us. And I'm sure it all makes sense to you that community and relationships and our needs in that department, our needs for the medicines of relationships and healing of community are unique to each and every one of us, as is purpose, as is what moves us, as is our life force, what floats our boat, what makes our heart sing, our purpose. I also teach in my work, and I explain in the book, the power of healing practices and healing partnerships. I also talk about emotional healing. I call it healing from the inside out. I explain how all healing is ultimately emotional healing. I talk about manifesting from the inside out, how we can make things happen. And again, it all starts from presence. We can make things happen first by simply being rather than doing. I also talk about consciousness. I talk about the nature of reality, and I ponder just what if those deja vus, those dreams that might come true. Just what if consciousness might be other than we know it to be? Just what if consciousness didn't begin when we were born and didn't end when we died? Just what if? How might that change our experience of living? How might that change our experience of illness and dying? How might that change our experience of illness and death for those that are near and dear to us? I also explain, as I mentioned earlier, that miracles are the natural order of things in this expanded greater reality. And finally, which is really important for everybody to know, in spite of my background, which is mostly in the fields of alternative, complementary, and integrative medicine, I explain that all medicines can help us find our way home to health and well-being. Western medicine, alternative medicine, combinations of both. There are many medicines and there are many ways home. And that way home to well-being is unique to each and every one of us. It doesn't matter so much the path we choose. It doesn't matter so much the medicine we choose, but how we choose and how we make that choice. So I want to offer to you that finally, my take-home message is a little reiteration of what I've explained earlier. Our way to well-being lies within. Your way to well-being lies within. Your way to inner peace lies within. And that place of inner peace is where you need to be to heal. It's where you need to be to heal something that's going on in your body physically, even if you do need the assistance of Western medicine or other practices. It's where you need to be to shift situations and circumstances that may be challenging. And your way to that place of inner peace is available to you in this very moment when you stop to pause and just be. So I know that's not always easy. It's not always easy for me too. And I encourage you to take cues from those for whom it's very easy, for the puppies in our lives. And actually, those are my dog's puppies. I have a dog named Benjamin, for those of you who might know me, who's actually resting very peacefully. When I do these events online or when I do sessions with patients online, he usually falls into a deep sleep. Sometimes he dreams, but tonight he's being quiet. Those are 5 of his 6 puppies, and they are really good at being here now. And those 2 gorgeous little babies, little toddlers, are 2 gorgeous little toddlers I've found on the internet. So take cues from those who do it really well. Take cues from those who do it really well. And if it's hard, the first thing you can stop to do is just do some belly breathing. It will literally change your brain, change your mind, change your physiology in minutes. And finally, I also want to offer more resources for you after the session tonight. I believe Katera has this link to guided audios of all of those 5 absolute health tools. There are audios that are on YouTube. They're audios only, not videos, but you can listen to them at your convenience and have a guided experience in breathing, a guided experience in mindfulness meditation, a guided experience in mirror work, in mind-body sensing, and even in journaling. And also, finally, I want to say, please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you want to dialogue after the class, if you have questions or concerns. Katera is going to offer up my website with all the contact information. You can email me or call, whichever feels most comfortable for you to do. And I want to actually say thank you before we close and introduce you to 2 very important people in my life. This is Grace. She's holding my book, and that is Benjamin, my dog. And Grace is a woman who's actually homeless. She has had a challenging life, and she lives under that brown tarp to the left of the photo. And by day, she sells books outside the Metropolitan Museum. She's a bookseller. Benjamin is my dog, whom I just mentioned. He is my wise teacher and spiritual advisor who is truly an expert at being in the moment, who is really good at being here now. He doesn't ruminate over the past nor worry about the future. And if you would like to check out my book, I would be honored if you would do so. And you could support Grace. If you don't get one online, you can get a signed copy of Beyond Medicine. On any day the Met is open, Grace is selling my book outside the Met. So finally, I want to open it up to us all again and take questions and comments and anything else anybody wants to share.
Yes, Paulina.
I just wanted to thank you for this experience. It has been very eye-opening and also the experience of being very relaxed. The idea of just being with those feelings and identifying them in the body and just being with them is very different, very unique, and I really appreciate the wisdom in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline. I'm glad that was helpful to you. Yeah, I'll just offer, I'm not a psychiatrist by training, and it may sound like a lot of what we were doing has to do with the realm of psychiatry. But in fact, these notions of mind and body being inextricably and ineffably linked, and our mind, our thoughts, and our feelings affect our bodies instantaneously. So are deeply rooted in the ancient wisdom of Western medicine. In fact, Hippocrates, who's considered one of the founding fathers, says it is more important to know the person who has the disease than the disease the person has. And this is a growing, burgeoning notion that is now finding firmer footing in the integrative medicine field, where we're coming to really appreciate and find robust and fabulous science to supporting the notions that thoughts and feelings and the physical body are completely, instantaneously, and ineffably linked. So anyhow, that's my little spiel on mind-body medicine and the role it plays in our lives today. I think I saw Daryl Elliott. Thank you, Daryl. It's nice to see you. Thank you. Anybody else? And if anybody had difficulty with any of this, I would love to be available to help you if you did. So feel free to reach out afterwards if you don't reach out during.
Hi, Trish. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to thank you. I haven't seen you in so long, and it's just been so fantastic tonight. And I love
Who is
seeing
that? I'm sorry, I don't recognize. Who is
Oh, it's Daryl.
Daryl? Hi, Daryl. Thank
Hi, hi.
you.
And Benjamin is beautiful, and I'm going to go buy your book from Grace.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Great. It was great. Thank you.
So I think I want to make sure everybody saw the link to the 5 audios on YouTube. That's in the chat also. So, and I want to give a shout out to the Earthing Meditation and Sound Bath series. It's going to be happening on Wednesdays. Is that right, Katara?
That's
For a
right.
couple
Yep.
Wednesdays. And that sounds like a wonderful experience. So you're marrying mindfulness and sound is a really powerful force. The vibrations literally affect us instantaneously. So that sounds like a really special program to explore as well.
It is. The teacher goes through a wide range of musical instruments while you're meditating.
Oh, cool.
Very, very great experience.
Lovely. Lovely.
I don't see any other questions coming through the chat, but everyone feel free if you have questions. We still have another minute or two. Feel free to put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, and if people don't have the book yet, the Y does have a link to purchase the book if you don't want to go outside to buy it at the Met and you want it, and it's discounted. There's a 20% discount if you buy it from through that link.
Yes, I put that is in the chat, and I'll put my email in here as well, just in case you have any questions or need follow up, or even the recording. I'm happy to provide. Well, Trish, thank you so much for this. I know I feel much more relaxed and more connected to my inner peace and my mental clarity since when we started.
Great.
All right. Well, I hope that everyone does go out and get a copy of the book. I've read it. It is amazing. And thank you again. I hope everyone has a very peaceful evening.
Yes, wishes for well-being and always inner peace. And know that if you're not there, it's really not far away. It's just a stop, a pause, and a breath away to that place of inner peace. You can
Thank
get
you
there.
all.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Katara, and thank you, Stacy, for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Have a great evening, everybody.